Joining us now direct from San Gabriel, California is Mr. Warren Wang. Warren is the CEO of ChineseInvestors.com Incorporated. Their stock symbol CIIX. Warren, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Donald. Hello, everyone.
Well, there was a rumor last week, although unsubstantiated, that President Trump was threatening to delist Chinese stocks from U.S. exchanges. What's your reaction, Warren?
It's great news for Chinese investor. If you recall, we are saying we are going to expand to China and doing more IPO money raising through our private equity partner in China. So the real news is White House and Mr. Trump denied that kind of rumor. Stock bounced back. There are reporting said Nasdaq is trying to restrict small Chinese IPO go public because most of the money raised in China. Secondly, there's not much activity happening in their stocks. So that Nasdaq say, hey, there's no reason this Chinese company need to be listing on the Nasdaq. So they made a request saying that they need to be minimum 300 U.S. shareholders, and then there's minimum quantity of shares they can purchase. So it's great news for us because we just did the roadshow last month in the last 30 days for our Chinese robotic company go public through SPAC, SPAC ways to go public. We got another inquiry. I want to do a roadshow. So I think Chinese investor as only few company can gather the investor and listen to the management doing presentation and raise money for Chinese company. It's great news for us because it's meaning we might have a lot of opportunities through this decision. I think we love the Nasdaq decision. We think you and me knows the Chinese company management team doesn't understand U.S. capital market very well. Some management team, just because the investment banking or the service provider, they say, well, how beautiful U.S. market is. They just went public, but then finally they realize without a routine or some kind of budget allocation to the IR parts of service, the stock won't do much. So if the stock doesn't trade much on the Nasdaq, it's very hard to get the financing. It's very hard to move forwards. So I saw so many Chinese management team. They don't want to listen to anything. They just doesn't. They believe like $20,000 IR budget is a crazy. It's a huge amount of money. But Nasdaq decision can bring up a lot of revenue for us. That's I think I really like the news.
Well, Warren, do you have any more comments on the CIIX share price?
Actually, I have a good news for you, Donald. Because I have another Donald. His last name is Lee, Chinese immigrant from Shanghai in Hong Kong. He called me in 2 weeks. He said, I have a patent. I found a patent. He said, every time you're on the MoneyTV, your stock goes up. So I think a lot of people made an inquiry. They got really scared, including Donald. He said, well, why he was so scared. He bought the stock at around like high price, bought a lot of quantity. He missed the two chance the stock ran up. He almost can make $150,000 on his $250,000 investment, but he missed it. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not his advisor, but he's really scared right now because he think we out of business. We are going to bankruptcy because the stock's tanking, right? So we did the statistics. We found in the last half years, our stock didn't trade very well, and the one reason is whole marijuana stocks. Especially the CBD. If you watch CNN this Sunday on 8 o'clock, between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock about the weed crazy stuff, FDA have a concern about the CBD, how safety they are. And, there's some people using bad CBD. There's nothing in there and cause the illness. So, I think the CBD stock is tanked. Local CVSI from $5 a share almost down to $1.55. Yesterday. You see that there's one ETF called MJ. It's almost from the top high down to 2016 low. So it's kind of whole environment was very bad against marijuana stocks. Secondly, if we look at our last 6 months trading volume on a daily basis, we find out almost $10,000, $20,000 value of selling. So so it explains you the reason why our stock goes up, goes down, because there are about, a lot of shareholders, they need the money, they scared, they stop loss, they piss off, they kind of sell every day. So there's no real buying because people not excited. So that's why I need to be on your show every week, because if I'm not showing up, people think we out of business. They don't look the filing, they don't look at anything. They just judgment by the stock price. So I need to be on your TV every week. Unfortunately, Alex, the CFO, used to be really against it, but I convinced him. I said, well, if I'm not on TV, stock can get hammered more, and I think I will get more pressure. So I try to calm down the investor. We still are working hard, and I still think people have to remember we are not just CBD company. Let's say we are still doing the process to go public on the CBD. We are also a financial company, and we serving almost our potential market is 1.4 billion Chinese people in mainland China. So I mean, we have some value. But it's an OTC market. We understand there's no real institution, and the bottom line, we are not big enough. If we are big enough, we have institution coverage, I think a stock can be traded much better. So I think we need to focus on the organic growth, grow the company, and maintain the high standard investor relation. Make sure we still communicate with our shareholder, thoroughly. Make sure they understand our activities and our business plan. So that's my plan.
Well, Warren, we certainly appreciate your candor and the passion you have for the company. Once again, ChineseInvestors.com, CIIX is their stock symbol. Warren, thanks for joining us.